Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Tip Balls Podcast. Today is Friday, December 29th, 2023, and it's our last show of the year. Do you guys believe that?
It's crazy.
Time flies. To my right, we have the one, the only Santa Claus.
Hello.
To the right of Santa Claus, the one that said hello, is Uncle Sam. In Florida, live from Marco Island, we have the usual host of the show, Sam Randazzo.
Yeah, nice hoodie, asshole.
You gonna unmute
75 degrees and you got a fucking hoodie on?
Hello. Hello.
And as always, on the ones and twos, behind the decks on the computer, Bruce Augustino, the tugboat, Van Clittley.
They're useless.
Hello.
Shitbag.
Can we jump right into last night? Us Flacco supporters want to hear your response.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
No. We want you to read the score and the stats. We're opting for you to do it.
Read it. Read it, asshole.
Don't we have some news to discuss or anything like that? Or?
No, read fucking Flacco's stat line.
There's always news. There's a ton of inactives, but I think the most recent news is the game from last night, and we should start there. That's just my opinion.
Joe Flacco was 19 for 29 for 309 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, a QBR of 121. He also had 3 rushing yards in a pretty sizable Cleveland win. The game was over after the first quarter, and Cleveland came out on top against the New York Jets, 37-20.
Did you watch the game?
I watched a good portion of the game.
Are you any more sold on Joe Flacco?
Yeah, I guess you could say that partially. I'm partially sold.
Personally, I think right now, as it stands, if this bullshit with Flacco continues, which I do think it will, especially because he did it last night without Amari Cooper against a very good defense, I think if this persists, that the Browns are currently a top 3 team in the AFC.
Oh.
Yep.
Top 3?
Top 3.
Yep.
Top 3.
I agree.
Okay,
The
they're better
only
than the Chiefs.
They're better than the Chiefs. Honestly, the only team I'm truly not taking them over is the Ravens. I think they would give the Dolphins a major run for their money. I think they would give the Bengals, the Texans, the Jaguars, whoever else is in the South. I think those are all losses for those teams. I think they would beat the Chiefs, like you said. The Bills would probably be close one.
Right now, today, they're the 4th best team in the AFC.
Okay.
I don't think that.
Okay. I will accept that out of you, considering how poorly you've behaved over the last couple weeks during Flacco Mania.
I'll give the advantage to Baltimore, Miami, and right now, today,
They'll
I'm going
beat
to give the
Miami.
advantage to Buffalo.
They'll beat Miami.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. I'm with Uncle Sam. I think if they played today, I think that the Bills or the Browns would beat Miami, but I also am a firm believer like you that Miami's best football is in front of them, whereas Cleveland is playing the best ball they could possibly play at the moment. But their best ball, and Uncle Sam will agree with me here, their best ball is pretty fucking good. It's win the AFC good, in my opinion.
Okay, we have to take into account here. They were playing the Jets, and I'll be the first one to admit that my Jets theory, I was giving them too much credit last week because that's a fucking dumpster fire. Honest to God, I know they said Amu Bob will be back next year. Amu Bob needs to lose his fucking job because, and honest to God, whoever the GM is in New York needs to lose their job too because this could have been that.
Joe Douglas.
Joe Douglas, if he would have taken his head out of his ass and kept Flacco around, this could have realistically been the Jets right now. But somebody really shit the bed on that. Because beginning of the year,
they weren't going to keep Joe Flacco with Aaron Rodgers on the fucking.
I don't know. Here's
they
my
should have
thing on
brought him
that.
back in then.
Here's my thing on that. Is Flacco was there last year with very similar personnel. Maybe the defense wasn't as good, but offensively he had very similar personnel and couldn't get it done. Whereas I think this offense in Cleveland just suits him. I think that's what it is he's got a really good offensive-minded head coach in Kevin Stefanski. and they run the ball, and everything they do goes through the run. And now he's got some playmakers for the first time in a long while. I mean, David Njoku looks like a first-round pick right now, and it's the first time we've been able to say that in his career. I thought that tight end. There were 3 tight ends that went in the first round of that draft. It was Njoku, Ingram, and I'm missing one. Who's the third one? Oh, O.J. Howard. None of them have done shit. Njoku is balling out of his fucking skull right now. He's the best tight end in football, not named Sam Laporta. And that's with no Amari Cooper. Yeah. And that, to me, that's like the Jets defense is still no slouch. Like, they still hold teams below. I'm with you on Robert Saleh, and I think it's getting worse and worse every week for the Jets.
He's lost these guys. They're disinterested. He just fucking stands there now. He doesn't even say anything anymore. He just fucking, every time the camera's on him, he's just fucking standing there.
He did say one thing. He said, "What do you want me to say?"
You know something? I defend him at that point because realistically, at this point, what do you want him to say? I mean, it is so fucking bad.
Listen, Bill Belichick would be standing there with that scowl, but he would actually talk to the players and try to coach them up too. This guy's just standing there. I think he's checked out.
They've packed it in. The Jets packed it in. They all know that their jobs are safe for next year. They know that they're getting their prodigal son back. And essentially what they're going to try to do next year is run back what this year was supposed to be. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, for all intents and purposes, they've completely packed it in. Now, last night, that first half of football out of them was fucking embarrassing, right? Yeah. At the end of the day, you can pack it in all you want, and you can say, you know what, we're writing the rest of this year off and moving on, but you don't want to go out there and get fucking embarrassed. And that was embarrassing football from the Jets.
Flacco was falling out there on the bench when he got benched after they were up by 35.
Yeah, he's falling asleep.
He was falling asleep at the bench. That's what happens when you're 40.
Real quick, I just want to acknowledge the chat. Christina says it's cold here. It's really not that bad. Shout out to you, Christina, though. We miss you.
Christina's here, for the record. She's saying it's cold here. Right now, it's like 64 degrees.
Oh, I heard that. It's cold in South
the
Florida right now.
Marco area. It warmed up for a second earlier. Clouds rolled back in. It got chilly again, which explains my hoodie.
Anyway.
Leon wants to know if Flacco can get comeback player of the year. I mean, I'll be real. We talked about this the other day. I'll be real pissed if it's DeMar Hamlin at this point. I think it should be Flacco. DeMar Hamlin.
Why?
Because he died and came back on the field.
Gives a fuck about him.
Just to play in 2 games and get 2 tackles.
Let's put a viable candidate in there. Somebody that's actually doing something.
To me, it's Flacco or Baker Mayfield.
Hamlin ain't even starting.
I think Baker Mayfield has an excellent shot at this award still. But Flacco, if this persists, I mean, why shouldn't it be him? He's won more games.
Geno Smith did it last year.
Was he? Yeah, that's right. It's the same concept. Flacco has won more games this year in his month and a half with the Browns coming off the couch than he won in his entire Jets tenure and Broncos tenure combined. I think he's just in a really good situation. Yeah, he did play for the Broncos. I completely forgot about that too.
I remember him playing for the Broncos.
Played for the Broncos. Yeah, he went to the Broncos. I think immediately after the Ravens. That's where he went. Was Denver, and it just didn't work. They've just been quarterback carousel over there since Peyton Manning left. So I think they're going to go get a guy finally. But yeah, Leon, I do think he can and should win comeback player of the year. It's for me. If it's not Flacco, and it might die out, but he's playing really well right now, and he's doing it every week. And he's making guys that either haven't looked good in this league in a while or have never looked good in this league look good. Starts with his defense. They have a great run game. It's totally a system quarterback thing.
He's playing with no
strings.
No strings, man.
No strings. He's just slinging it.
Letting it loose.
Yeah, There's
nothing wrong with that.
Great point. I'm with you.
Not playing for pressure of a job or
no.
You can see it. He's just out there winging it.
No, he's clearly having fun. He's like smiling and dapping the boys up and. It's similar how we're getting that potential scenario here at the moment of, oh, fuck, Stafford's coming to town for the playoff game. There's Ravens fans that are potentially shitting their pants right now thinking, oh, fuck, Flacco's coming to town to beat us.
Coming back to put it to us.
And that's a lot of fun. Anyways, any other observations, Sam, on this game?
Okay. So obviously Cleveland clinched the playoff spot now. Great. They're in. That's fantastic. Either way, DeMar Hamlin is going to win Comeback Player of the Year.
That's a joke,
For the
dude.
record.
That's a fucking awful take.
Admit it's bullshit.
So what, dude?
It's not a take. It's
fucking
not a
what?
take. It's what's going to happen.
It's what's
He's
going to
been
happen.
He has been the betting odds in Las Vegas to win Comeback Player of the Year since last
what?
season ended.
So here's the thing. Odds are live, and it's the same as the MVP conversation. It shifts every week because there's new stories every week. So I think if Flacco wins out, they technically, it's not going to happen, but they technically could still win their division. The Browns could still win the 1 seed. Okay? So there's a scenario regardless where if Flacco wins the next 2 weeks and looks convincing, where because this line has shifted, he's closed the gap on DeMar Hamlin a lot. It's really close now. It's like minus 100 to plus
him
150
MVP instead of fucking Comeback Player of the Year.
Shit.
How about that? What a story that would be.
Get the fuck out of here with that. Jesus
What? League
Christ.
MVP?
If he has 10 TDs, no interceptions, 800 yards, and they clinch the 1 seed somehow in the next 2 weeks, would you crown him an MVP candidate, Joe Flacco?
Absolutely not.
I would. Put a team on his back. He's carrying them right now. I would.
Hold on.
David Njoku,
The defense
Jerome Ford have
the
to
defense
be
is
on
carrying them, but
Okay.
he's
And
doing
the
everything right.
Defense carries that guy in San Francisco too.
He's doing everything
I don't
right.
wanna fucking hear that.
He's doing everything right, Joe Flacco.
That's
It's
bullshit.
not even up for debate, Joe
This
Flacco.
guy gets them into the playoff. What was the odds-on favorites for the Cleveland Browns to make it to the fucking Super Bowl?
By the way, I just want to point this out. They did make the playoffs, so technically you have to bark.
Say that again.
The Browns made the playoffs, which means you have to bark.
I'm not worried about that. What's the odds
No,
of them
no,
making
no.
What's the odds of them making
You have to fucking bark.
pork?
No.
We'll bark. We'll listen when we do the playoff preview. We'll all bark together. Is that a
He's
deal?
fucking barking. Before today ends, he will bark. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask
When
this
we're all
panel
together, I'll
question
bark.
here real quick?
When we're all
He's big.
together, I'll do it.
I think that's fair.
No, he's barking on his own. But I want to ask the panel a question real quick. Will Joe Flacco be on a team to start training camp next year?
Yes, he already said he wants to play.
Yes,
The
he
question
wants
is
to
which
play.
team.
He wanted to play this year too, and there were multiple quarterback injuries, and nobody wanted to pick Joe Flacco up until the Browns got desperate enough to do it. So,
But look how it's worked, though. Like that's none of that matters. Look at the
That's
body
why
of
he
work.
deserves MVP.
Look at the body of work. And they've beaten, like, they haven't beaten all good teams, but they've beaten some good teams too in there. And again, if they win out, if they win that Bengals game, and it's looking like they're gonna win the Bengals game, come on. You know, what more can be said?
Listen, they beat a hot,
hold on.
Tank.
hot Rams team.
How we doing,
What
Tank?
good team have
Oh,
they
lost
beat?
to the Rams. The Browns lost to the Rams.
What good team have they beat?
by the Rams. I thought when they beat the Bears, I thought it was a good win. The Bears were hot. The Bears are good defensively. I thought winning in Houston was big, regardless of who the quarterback was, because of the stakes in the game. I thought those were 2 big games. That's just my opinion. I think,
Good doing it.
and he looked good doing it. The only game he really hasn't looked outstanding in was the Rams game, and he was still very serviceable. That's just my 2 cents, though.
The turnovers killed him in that game.
He's
Listen,
beating a pile of dung.
If he wins out like this, if he wins out and he goes in and let's say he wins 1 playoff game, he's coming back to Cleveland next year. That's the team that's going to roster him. They're going to put him in over the $200 million fucking massage parlor quarterback. That's my 2 cents because he's done more damage as the Browns quarterback than almost anybody has, including Baker.
Yeah.
So,
Including P.J. Walker and the rest of them too.
yep.
Listen, they're going to lose to Cincinnati next week. And then they'll look like toilet.
That's what Atlanta.
They have not.
that's what
They're
Atlanta's
saving
gonna win their
grace.
Division.
Their saving grace to win a playoff game would be if they have to go to Jacksonville and play them again in the first round. That's the only fucking shot they have.
I don't know.
Or if
I
they have
think
to play
they'd be in-
Houston and Stroud's still out. Like
Unless
if
it's
they-
Baltimore, unless it's Baltimore, and they would still have a shot against Baltimore because it's a divisional game.
They beat them once.
I think I could see them going into Miami and winning. I think I could see them going into Kansas City and winning, and I think I could see them going into Jacksonville, Houston, or Indianapolis and winning. I could see them beating all 5 of those teams, every one of them. I could see it. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, because again, I think Miami's best football's in front of them. It's still Arrowhead, but yeah, I mean, especially if they draw the South team, which they're gonna finish as the 5, and they're gonna draw the South team probably, unless something happens with Bills and Dolphins. I don't know what you're not seeing with Cleveland. They've been consistently good all year, and they've started 4 quarterbacks, and they're still here. We are. We're still talking about them. In my opinion, what's been the best division in football this year?
One, they have not beaten in the Flacco era. They haven't beaten in what my opinion has been a quality opponent. They got a watered down, beat up Jacksonville team. They got a watered down, beat up Houston team. They only beat Chicago by a fucking field goal. And that Jets team last night was like playing a high school team. So I don't think they have one quality win in the Flacco era. And 2, their stud defense has allowed at a minimum 17 points in each of those games, right? Jacksonville, without Christian Kirk, I believe, put up 27. Houston, without C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins, put up a 22. Like, I'm not there yet. I think that there's holes that the right team and the right coach and the right preparation will expose. And I think that Cincinnati game this week, even with Jake Browning on the toboggan ride down, is going to be a really tough game for them to win.
Well, Uncle Sam, anything to add?
No.
That's right. I'm on your team with this one. We'll let the play do the talking.
God bless Trent Dilfer.
What do you want to do next?
Should we preview this weekend's games? Should we go straight into it?
Yeah, let's preview this weekend's games.
Let's do it. First up, Monday Night Football on Saturday night. We have the 11-4 and NFC champion Detroit Lions going up against the 10-5 Dallas Cowboys, who are currently the 5 seed, second in the NFC East. Now, as nice as it would be for the Lions to win this game, there's really no pressure because the division crown is already theirs. But we would love to see them continue to win and move up in their seeding. And Dan Campbell has voiced that same opinion. Going into this one in Dallas, the Cowboys are a 5.5-point favorite. Over under a monstrous 52. And I'll throw it to Uncle Sam first.
I'm going to take the Lions in the under.
He's been committed to that for weeks. There was no way he was backing down.
I just think they match up real well with them. Especially right now. I think Dallas is kind of declining a little bit at the wrong time of the year. So I'm going to take the Lions.
You go next.
Okay. This game, it's real simple for me, all right? The Lions have probably the hottest running back duo in football right now, if not the best overall running back duo right now.
It is the best running back duo in football. It is.
There's one glaring game that stands out to me about these Dallas Cowboys, and that was when they played the Buffalo Bills. And Josh Allen threw for under 100 yards and got a big win against Dallas, okay? With running backs that are not as good as the Detroit Lions, with an offensive line that is not as good as the Detroit Lions. So I asked the Lions coaching staff, please utilize your running backs, run the ball down Dallas's throat over and over and over and over again, and beat this team, because you can if they control the time of possession, they control the line of scrimmage, and they run the ball methodically against this Cowboys team. They will win, and I'm going to take the Lions, and I'm going to take the under in this game as well, because here's hoping they just run the ball and run that clock and get out of Dallas with a win.
So Uncle Sam kind of nailed he kind of nailed a thought that I've had. The Lions have actually, this goes both ways because so do the Cowboys. The Lions have a ton of favorable matchups in this game. Ton of favorable matchups. And everyone's big hot button topic, Aiden Hutchinson, who's been a fucking monster this year. The Dallas starting left tackle, from what I understand, I don't think he's playing in this game. I think he's a little banged up at the moment. And on top of that, I love that you brought up what the Lions did against the Bills too. I do take stock in that. And I think we will know very, very, very early who's going to win this game, because if the Lions end up with the ball, they come out and their script is, here, we're going to stop you by not letting you go on the field, Dak Prescott, and we're going to fucking run the ball down your throats, and we're going to see if you could stop our running game. And I think if the Lions are able to successfully run the ball and you put Dak in a position where he has to play from behind, he's going to make mistakes. It's a matter of how many times are CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson and Brandon Cooks and those guys, Turpin, how many times are they going to be able to capitalize in between the mistakes? I hate to be the odd one out on this one. I think the Lions are going to show way better than they did last year when they played Dallas. I think they have a bad taste in their mouth. And I think it's going to be I think this is going to be a great game. I think this game's going to be as advertised, high energy. I do love the over. I think the over is going to hit. But I'm taking Dallas. And the reason being is they just talk about a team that really needs a big win right now. They really need this big win. They need it bad coming off of the 2 losses. And I buy stock into the run game dominating them for the Bills. I also buy stock into Dak at home. I also buy stock into the Lions' biggest weakness being their pass defense. And this is a passing attack that thrives at home. And they just need this. I could totally see the Lions winning this game. 100%. They're great on Saturday nights. They're great in prime time. And they tend to show out well in Dallas until the refs always step in. I just think that Dallas needs this game more. I think they got some good juju going at home, and they need to keep pace. So I'm taking the Cowboys to win. The line has moved down to minus. Is yours showing -4.5?
Was 5.
Was 5.
Still -5.5.
And it started at -6.5, if I remember correctly. So the line has been moving. Vegas knows something. I think Vegas is on your side. I'm gonna err on the side of the Lions aren't ready to win this game yet. If it was 1 year from now, they would be. I'd feel a lot better with C.J. Gardner-Johnson being back, or James Houston, or Aleem. They'll all be back next week, all 3 of them.
The dude's been ready for 3 weeks now.
He hasn't got his practices have been limited. They haven't been full practices, and you don't want your first full go. What would you rather have, your first full go to be against Dak Prescott on the road, or do you want to give him some introductory reps against Nick Mullins or
go out there and get 2 games worth ready for the playoffs than just against the Vikings?
They don't technically need him right now. The 2 other guys that play his positions are Melifonwu and Brian Branch, and they're both balling.
You have a chance to make a statement here.
You're not wrong.
For the record, Jaron Hall is going to be the Vikings starting quarterback going forward.
Jaron Hall, yes.
No, I agree with that 1,000%. I wouldn't send CJ out there this week. This is not a must-win game.
It's not.
This is not a must-win game. You've already made your point. You've won 11 football games. You won the division for the first time in 30 years. Everybody knows you're good, right? There's no reason to run C.J. Gardner-Johnson out there and have him have a setback in a meaningless
These
Dallas
bastards
game.
better just win every fucking game till next year.
What difference does it make?
I'm with you. It's a must-win for Dallas. I don't think it's as much of a must-win for the Lions. And on top of that, I think the Lions are going to have a bit of a hangover from last week. That was a big emotional win that they're still talking about, and I think that's going to play into it. Do I think they're going to be prepared? 100%. This is a Dan Campbell. This is one of his places. He's from Texas. He played for the Cowboys. I think he's going to be very prepared. I think that team's going to look good. I just think if it's a shootout, you're going to lose on the road. I trust Dak Prescott a little bit more at home.
Amen. Here we go. Moving on.
So I said my piece and then had to go back to writing the picks. So.
Let's move on. We have a
divisional game.
Divisional game. The 4-11 New England Patriots and Bailey Zappi, who's hotter than hot right now, are heading up to Buffalo to play the Bills. Bills are in the playoff picture, in the wild card spot right now, 9-6, in second place in the AFC East. Buffalo is a 14-point favorite with New England coming to town. The over-under is 40. Uncle Sam.
Taking New England and the under.
Are you taking New England to cover or New England to win?
New England to win and the under.
Well, there's the pick that makes up for me taking the Jets last night.
Bills to win, Bills to cover. I like the over too. I think this is the tune-up before they go to Miami, and I think that they just laid too much of an egg the last time they played the Patriots. I love how the Patriots defenses looked, but for fantasy implications, I personally just really need the Bills to look well this weekend, and I think they're going to. I think they're going to have a bad taste in their mouth. It's their last home game. The division's on the line, and I think they're going to take it very seriously and get it done.
I'm going to take Buffalo to win. I'm going to take the Patriots to cover, and I am going to take the over in this game as well. Zappi's been hot. I think Buffalo will probably put up a lot of points early, and the Patriots get a shitty backdoor cover and at the end. And the 40 seems a little bit low to me because I don't think there's going to be all that much defense played in this game. So give me the over.
Pen on the ground.
Thank you.
Give me a Patriots cover.
You can see that far?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Go ahead. There's 10 1 p.m. games on Sunday and only three 4 p.m. games.
Yes, there is. And this one is one that I am the most excited for. Next up, my Dirty Birds of the South, the Atlanta Falcons, second in the NFC East, clawing and fighting for that division title, are heading to Soldier Field in Chicago to play the Bears. Chicago, a 2.5-point favorite in this one. The over-under is 38. Uncle
Is
Sam,
DJ Moore playing? I know Cole Kmet's questionable. Is DJ Moore playing?
Darnell Mooney is out. Cole Kmet is questionable. And DJ Moore was a full participant today. He will play.
I was going with the Chicago Bears. Bears in the over.
Bears in the over.
Bears in the over. I was going with the Bears no matter what. Falcons aren't winning 2 in a row.
Haven't you guys learned yet?
Haven't you fucking learned yet?
We think 'tis you that must learn. 'Tis you that must be the learning.
Give me my Atlanta Falcons, Taylor Heineke, who Uncle Sam just fucking ruthlessly, fucking bandwagon hypocrite, just turned his back on, walked right away from. Give me Taylor Heineke. Give me the Atlanta Falcons.
Like Taylor Heineke, ever.
What?
You're putting words in his mouth.
Of course.
Yeah, but you're taking the Bears over Taylor Heineke.
Yes, I'm taking the Bears. I think the Bears' defense is better than Atlanta's, and I don't think they're going to have an answer for Justin Fields fucking running and throwing the ball all over the field. Maybe not at his receivers, but he will be throwing it all over the field.
So here's the thing about the Bears defense that he didn't just say is that
Herbert,
not only is it better, the Bears defense is, back me up here. The Bears defense has gotten better every single week since Montez Sweat's come in. It's looked better every single week, and it's starting to gel to the point where I think that's the reason Eberfloss is going to be able to keep his job, is their defense.
I agree with that.
Listen, Desmond Ritter has more passing yards on the year than Justin Fields. Give me the Falcons to win, and I'm going to take the over in this game. I think that the Dirty Birds are coming off of a hot game last week, put up a decent amount of – I'm taking them. I'm taking them to win out.
Okay.
Good poop take. Next.
Moving on.
Excuse me, how many people picked Atlanta last week?
And then the one person that picked him last week also picked him 2 weeks ago, and they lost, though.
That is right.
I'm sensing a trend.
Anyways, I need the makeup. That's my makeup game for my Jets pick last night. Bruce, did you take the Jets last night?
Nope.
Next up, the Las Vegas Raiders second in the AFC West at 7-8, are heading to Indianapolis, where Indianapolis is fighting for an AFC South title. And with Trevor Lawrence out this week, it might just happen. Indy, a 3.5-point favorite going into this one. The over-under is 42.5.
What do you say, Trevor Lawrence?
Because Trevor Lawrence is out this week, the Colts are in it for the AFC South title.
We have a slew of injuries on the Raiders side of the ball. Josh Jacobs may not play again. Max Crosby banged up, but most likely to play. Michael Mayer may not play again. But as far as the Colts go, Zach Moss is already out. Michael Pittman has not cleared concussion protocol. So this one is kind of up in the air on the injury front. Again, Indy, 3.5-point favorite. Over under 42.5.
I'm going to take the under in the Raiders.
I'm with you. Under in the Raiders. Underrated storyline here is Aiden O'Connell, pride of Purdue University, is returning home a couple hours from West Lafayette. I don't think he's from Indiana, but I think there's going to be a big Aiden O'Connell fan club. The last time he played at Lucas Oil Stadium, he lost to Michigan, though, last year in the Big Ten championship game. But I just think the Raiders got this good juju going. I think they're right there in it, and Antonio Pierce knows he's coaching for his job. A small part of me still thinks that dumb fuck is going to fuck up the coaching hire. Because I was just looking at the Rick Bisiccia stats and how he fucked that up. And the same thing's happening right now. Antonio Pierce is doing outstanding stuff. And a part of me feels like...
I think he'll be the coach next week.
I think he will too. At least he should be. We can agree on that. A part of me feels like Gardner Minshew doesn't have it in him to lose 2 in a row. But I think Gardner Minshew's going to lose 2 in a row. I really do. I think he's going to get blitzed to shit, and without all the weapons that he needs.
Coons guy on the Raiders. Coons. He's playing opposite Max Crosby. The guy's been unstoppable for the last 3 weeks.
Go ahead, Sam.
I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to win this one. I think that this is the game that the Colts definitely need to have. Listen, you got Trevor Lawrence out this week. Stroud is still questionable. This is if you're going to win this division, this is a must-win game. Colts coaching staff knows that. They've been here before. Give me Indianapolis to cover and win. And I'm going to take the over in this game. I think, honest to God, in my heart of hearts, I think that the Colts run away with this one quick. I know the Raiders defense and Max Crosby and all of that, but Colts are going to win this game. They need to come out hot and they need to come out quick, and I think that they have the ability to do that, and they will win this game. Next up, the Los Angeles Rams are heading to MetLife Stadium to play the New York Football Giants. Rams are at 8-7 and right up there in the playoff picture. Currently, the 6th seed. The Giants are 5-10 and out of it, but the Rams are only a 5.5-point favorite going into this one. Over/under is 43.5. Puka Nacua questionable with a shoulder injury. Wan'Dale Robinson questionable with a quad. What do you guys think now that Tyrod Taylor is at the helm for the Giants?
I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I'm taking the Giants to cover. I still like the Rams to win. Stafford's also not good outdoors. He's not good in December outdoors. He hasn't been good going from West Coast to East Coast as well. But a quick fun fact on that Rams offense, when Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, and Kieran Williams are all on the field and all healthy, they rank number 1 statistically in almost every category in games where all 3 of them play. So I think not having Puka Nacua can make this really interesting. Stafford's rolling right now, though, and the Rams are rolling. I do love Tyrod. I think he's going to keep it close, and I think the Giants do ultimately cover. But give me the under and give me the Rams.
I'm going to take the Rams in the over.
Would you like to elaborate as to why?
You're just better. You're just better, bud.
Quality. That was quality. You know, some things... I feel like there's a possibility that this could be a trap game right here. And it's taken everything in me not to take the Giants in this game. Just a pride game for the Giants. With Tyrod at the helm, I think you got decent football to be played. And I agree with everything Zolo said about Matt Stafford outside in the cold in December. We've seen it firsthand many a times how that goes. If Puka Nacua for some reason doesn't play in this game, like I don't know what that Rams offense looks like anymore without him in there. I'm going to take the Rams to win. I'm going to take the Giants to cover. I think this is a field goal game. And I'm going to take the over in this game because I think that if you have Saquon and Tyrod there, it looks a lot better than what we've seen with Tommy DeVito and Saquon.
Real quick on the Stafford in December thing too. It's not a new thing. Like, one of the reasons the Lions choke some division leads away is because of Stafford in December. The Rams backed into their playoff spot the year they won the Super Bowl. They had a lot of losses down the stretch. He's just not good in December, but he has been. I'll give him credit for the last 2 weeks, and I think it carries over. I'm with Uncle Sam. They're the better team, so if they're the better team, they should win this one.
Next up, we have the Arizona Cardinals heading to the city of brotherly shove to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles 11-4, first in the NFC East. Arizona 3-12. Philly is an 11.5-point favorite. The over/under is 48. Uncle Sam.
Philly in the over.
Okay, Solo.
We need to bring the vibes back to Uncle Sam. Matt Calupina in the chat says that's why I'm here. The Uncle Sam analysis. Your fans are
My analysis.
Yeah.
The Philadelphia Eagles will win this game just because they're the more talented team, and they should win this game easy. That's my analysis of it. I mean, there's really not much more to say. I mean,
not only should
the Cardinals are dog shit.
Not only should they do that, they need to do that. They need to
do that.
They need to win this
Right.
game easily.
They need it more than the fucking Cardinals do. You know, Kyler Murray's cute. I like him, but I don't think he's got enough.
Do you think you could fit him in your pocket?
I probably could. I could fit 4 Kyler Murrays in my pocket.
Oh, wow. I'm with Uncle Sam. I think the Eagles are going to be out for blood. This is the we need to get revenge on Jonathan Gannon game, and it's one of their one of 2 opportunities here to get everything right before the playoffs. The difference between them struggling and all these other teams that are struggling right now, except the Niners, of course, but the difference between the Eagles struggling and Dallas's struggles and Kansas City struggles is the Eagles can correct. They have the personnel to figure it out. They have what it takes to figure it out. All the pieces are there, especially when healthy. And I think that they need to. It's testing the first Death Star right now.
I actually like Jonathan Gannon. I like him.
Great coach.
I like
Great
him
coach.
a lot better than Nick Sirianni or fucking fat fucking tub of shit fucking you know who. Do I even need to go there? I can't believe that guy's on the team. It fucking disgusts me, dude.
Patricia?
This day. I hate that motherfucker, dude.
We all do. He's not
still
allowed in
fat,
this town.
too.
He's not
I think
allowed.
somebody with all his money would go get some weight loss shit or something.
Yeah.
Or get his asshole sucked out. I mean, come on, dude.
His
It's horrible.
asshole sucks.
And this
Fucking horrible,
is
dude.
just what I
Oh,
heard.
Even Andy Reid's not fat no more. Come on.
This is just what I heard. I heard he has a chode too. He's got a little tiny pecker.
He hasn't seen his pecker in fucking 40 years.
Well, yeah, that's
How old
why
is
he hasn't used all his money to
How old is he?
engorgiate it.
How old's Matt Patricia? He's not that old. How
He's
old
an
is he?
asshole. I don't care.
Huh?
I don't care how old he is.
Anybody? Anybody?
He's in his 40s.
How old is he?
Matt Patricia is 49.
He's 49. He's not even 50 yet. Same age as your Uncle Tony, bud. Guess what? That guy hasn't seen his dick in 40 years.
I'm going with the Eagles to win. I'm going with the Eagles to cover. I'm going to go with the under because I think the Eagles need a good defensive performance, and I think they're just going to inch the offense into this one. And Gannon's going to know what to do defensively to slow them down a little bit. But look out. This is going to be a topic of conversation again next week if the Eagles do not have a good showing, especially if they lose. So look out for that. But I think they are going to have a good showing. I'm going to give them the benefit of
If
the
they
doubt.
lose this game, and I'm gonna be honest with you, somebody needs to lose their fucking job.
And his name is
I don't know
Matt
if it's
Patricia.
Matt Patricia or fucking Nick Sirianni or somebody, but Howie Roseman needs to step in and throw somebody out.
Listen, Matt Patricia lost 65 pounds in the last offseason to make him less of a tub of shit. Just when I was Googling his name, the first thing that came up was his weight loss journey. So shout out to Matt Patricia for losing.
Yeah, take a look at him. I seen him on camera last week. He still looks like he ate himself.
Listen,
So,
all of it came from his fucking ego, too. He just lost 65 pounds from his fucking ego in his head. So he's still fat at heart. Piece of shit.
Listen, if you look at him, he does in the Eagles garb. He does look a little bit leaner.
can I ask a question, then? Why was he
Sure.
wearing that giant windbreaker that looks like a fucking tent?
Well, he's
Explain
got to
that
cover
to
up the
me.
tits.
Because
Listen,
he had to keep his chode warm.
yeah. He has an Eagles Willy Warmer on.
So how much
underneath
does he
there.
weigh if he lost 65 pounds? What's he, 260 now?
He's down to
Maybe.
400.
I'm sure he was well over 300 pounds at one time. I'm sure of it.
I'm going to take Matt Patricia and the Philadelphia Eagles to win this game, to cover, and I'm going to take the under in this game. I think that 48's a lot. Eagles need an exclamation point game. I think they put it on here. And I think they dismantle this Cardinals team. They need to, especially because that Giants game last week was way too close. They need to reestablish themselves a bit, and I think they do it here.
He's doing his favorite thing right now. Can you not hear it?
Even with Matt Patricia's chode. If he's sitting there fucking around with the pencil, tell him to put it down.
We're ready to move on. Oh, hold on. Suey wants Bruce's opinion on this game.
Philadelphia Eagles are better.
Suey, here's the problem. I know you're here for
Sucks.
Bruce. Like Matt
This guy.
Calupina's here for Uncle Sam. Tank and Tina are here for Sam.
Oh,
I don't know if anyone's here for me. Maybe Dark Lumen. You're one of the people that are here for Bruce, and we appreciate that. We really do. But the problem is Bruce is
Got out of
fried.
the gym and he's bored.
Bruce is
Fuck
high
Bruce.
as fuck.
There's
he's not even
there's a
paying
couple of
attention to what
people
we're
that are here
saying.
For Bruce, she's just not here right now.
Okay. Anyway,
He's just too high to give an opinion, Suey.
And you are high. I can see it.
thank you.
Your fucking eyes are all fucked up. You got that bird look.
I love how it bothers you too.
What?
I love how it just gets
Maybe
under
I'm
your
jealous.
skin.
Maybe I want to be high.
The bird look? What the fuck? Is he extra pink right now?
Yes, his fucking
Yeah.
cheeks
Extra
are
pink.
rosy.
He looks like a rosy
Did you
asshole.
put the camera on yourself there?
He looks like a baby's asshole
on
the
yourself.
first time it ever took a shit and got wiped, and it's just
Okay.
it's just rosy. It's
Camera's
just
broken.
pink.
The camera's broken?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Maybe I'll turn this other camera on you. Here, since you want to be an asshole.
Don't
Bruce's
fuck with the
cheeks are real
cameras.
fake.
Fucking listen to
Don't
me.
fuck with the cameras.
Thank you, Leon.
Listen, we
That's
can't
my
bring
present.
Bruce's asshole into this. We got complaints last time when we were talking about Bruce's asshole. We need to limit it to just his ass
What's up?
cheeks.
See, now you fucked with the camera. You're not.
So I got it.
Dylan, what up? Tell me how California is in the chat. I'm pissed I'm not there. I'm jealous.
Look at the fucking camera. Now I gotta get up and do it.
No,
we
we'll
move
move
on,
him to the middle.
please?
We'll move him to the middle.
Can we move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, we're good.
Next up, we have a.
Divisional game.
Visual game.
Where's Uncle Sam? What are you doing?
He's coming. I don't know
What
if you
the
heard that. He just
fuck
said we
are
have a
you
fucking
doing with
divisional
the
game.
Cameras?
Oh, that's perfect.
Can't even see you now.
You're not supposed to see me.
Anyways, next up we have a. Oh, there he is. Oh,
He already
hello.
said it. He already said we have a fucking divisional game.
Oh, okay. Dan in the chat says that it's time to send Unk to the home, and I agree.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Saints
tell
are heading
Dan he
down
can
to.
come on home with me and fucking gargle on some fucking
Dave
belly.
and Anna, thanks for listening. Mom and Dad, thanks for listening.
Uncle Sam, we still can't see you.
Shout out to Lee. Lee, welcome
I just
back.
Fixed it.
Shout out to Dylan.
Okay. Anyways, New Orleans is heading down to Tampa to play the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are a 2.5-point favorite in this game. The over/under is 42.5. Tampa currently first in the NFC South at 8-7. New Orleans 7-8 and third New Orleans needs a win here to stay in playoff contention, as do the Falcons. Injury report is as follows. Alvin Kamara is questionable with the flu. That popped up yesterday. Carlton Davis is out with a concussion. What do we think, Uncle Sam?
Taking the Bucs and the over. Baker Mayfield, second hottest quarterback in the league right now, behind Joe Flacco.
Did you guys know the Saints haven't played a game outdoors since October? And it was like early October. I think that's, especially with Kamara potentially out, I think that slows them down. The weather in that part of Florida where you are right now is a little chilly. I'm taking the under. And as for the game, it's been hard to pick against the Bucs. They're getting better every week. Their defense is back to where it was at the beginning of the year. Baker's getting better every week. Going with the Bucs. I'm going to pick them until they choke, and I think they will. I think this could be a game that they choke, but I got to pick the Bucs until they actually choke.
Oh, when the Saints come marching in, and they're going to march right into Raymond James Stadium and punch Baker Mayfield right in his asshole. Give me the Saints to cover, the Saints to win this game. Get a giant mash fuck going after the Falcons win this week. All three of these teams will be tied. It'll be bedlam going into week 18 to decide the NFC South. And I'm going to take the over in this game. Listen, Saints defense, I believe it was Uncle Sam who said it best. The Saints always have the Buccaneers number, and I think that continues.
That was
and I'm
with
going to
Tom
take the
Brady.
Saints to win this game. Kamara runs all over him.
That was
if
with
he
Tom
plays.
Brady.
Kamara has a flu game.
We're ready. Go ahead.
Sorry, I got a lot going on here. It takes me a minute to move around. Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers going into Washington to play the Commanders. San Francisco, a 13.5-point favorite in this one. Over under 49.5. I'll get this out of the way. I am taking San Francisco to cover. I am taking San Francisco to win. I am taking Christian McCaffrey as a anytime 2-touchdown scorer in this game. And I'm going to take the over because I think Frisco hits it on their own.
You're picking with your heart all week. You're picking for your fantasy team, and you know what? I love it. I admire it. I admire it. I am taking San Francisco to win, San Francisco to cover, and I don't know about that. That's a tough over. I think that they're going to be a little bit slower on the road and outdoors on the East Coast. It's always tough for those West Coast teams to go east. We got 2 examples of that this weekend. So I'm going to go with the under.
Who's playing quarterback? Brissett?
It was supposed to be, but he has some sort of groin injury at the moment, right?
Yeah, Brissett popped up on the injury report today. I guess yesterday in practice, he tweaked his hamstring. So he's dealing with hamstring tightness. He's going to be a game-time decision. Benjamin St. Juste, the corner, out for them, as is Kendall Fuller. As far as the 49ers go, it doesn't look like any. Okay. Eric Armstead, but
that's
he's
what I figured. Nobody's hurt on their team. Okay, I'm taking Frisco in the under.
God, I hope Washington.
They do have 2 starting offensive linemen out. Aaron Banks and Jalen Moore. That's not true, or I'm looking at the injury report and they're both out. So
no, he said that's good. He didn't say it's not true.
Why do you always stop when I put the camera on you?
On me?
What's next?
Bruce is trying to catch him in the act of grinding the pencil against the spring that holds the mic in place.
I wasn't doing it.
I'm trying. What did you guys pick this game?
Yeah, we did. We did.
What the fuck?
We both went San Francisco to win, San Francisco to cover, and the over. Or excuse me, the under. We said the under.
I must have just had a moment.
You.
What'd you say?
Maybe you need to go to the home.
We're picking the games over here.
Listen. Okay. They got a nice padded room for you over at the fucking that building next to Zolo's house, ready for you to go. Next up, the Carolina Panthers are heading down to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. Jacksonville, a 4.5-point favorite. The over-under in this game is only 36.5. Due to the fact that Trevor Lawrence is out with a shoulder injury, Zay Jones questionable in this game. Cam Robinson, the offensive lineman, is questionable with his knee still. As far as the Panthers go, J.C. Horn's questionable with a toe injury, and Ike Ekwonu is questionable with a foot injury. Frankie Louvu, the linebacker, questionable with a quad. What do we think?
I'm taking Carolina. Carolina on the under.
Ooh.
With every fiber in my being, I want to pick Carolina to win the game. They're gonna win. They're gonna win this game. But I don't have it in me. I think they cover. I like this under. I don't trust CJ Beathard. The Panthers secondary, I guess, is one of the best in football, which I didn't know. And it's played really well, and they played some really close games the last couple weeks.
That's even without Horn. He just came back.
Yeah, and J.C. Horn just got back. I'm going with the Panthers to cover, but the Jaguars really need this game. This is like a lose this and you get fired type of game. So I'm expecting a lot of ETN. I think this is a big ETN game, and I'm taking the Jaguars very reluctantly to win, taking the Panthers to cover, and I'm taking the under.
Give me Jacksonville to cover, Jacksonville to win, and give me the over in this game. Next up, we have a
divisional game.
You suck today, dude. Drink a fucking Aladdin and get it together, all right? The Tennessee Titans, currently 5-10 and 4th in the AFC South, are heading into Houston to play the 8-7 Texans. Again, we have another South match fuck. The AFC South, everybody's tied right now. All these games are important. Houston, a 4-point favorite. Over-under is 44. And it looks like Stroud boys can stand up once again because CJ Stroud, it's looking like he is going to play in this game. Noah Brown questionable with a knee injury. Shaq Mason questionable with a calf injury. As far as the Titans go, everybody seems healthy. Who do we got?
Come back to me. I want to hear what you guys
I'll take the Texans in the over.
Why?
Because Stroud's back.
I'm going to take the Texans as well. I'm going to take the over. Like you said, Stroud's back.
Will Levis ain't playing, is he?
He is.
Oh, Levis
Who?
is playing?
Well, Levis is playing, yeah.
Fuck.
So this is officially the first time we're going to get Levis versus Stroud, which I think is there's some
I think
exciting.
this could be cool.
There's some exciting battles this weekend, and this is one of them. I'm actually really excited to see this game. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be a Stroud boy if I didn't take Houston, right? We'll see how impactful Stroud really is in this game because the Titans haven't given up in any game they've been in. They probably have a really bad taste in their mouth after what happened 2 weeks ago. I think this is close. I think the Titans cover, but give me the Texans. I miss Stroud. I miss the Stroud magic, so I'm excited to see it. I hope he stays healthy. And I know that Jonathan Simmons is out. They placed him on IR for the rest of the year, so I don't know. I don't know who's going to be able to contain Stroud on that defensive front. And if it's just their secondary that they're going to rely on, I'm not worried. I like CJ Stroud in this one.
I think Houston wins this game big. I don't know if they trot Stroud back out there if he wasn't ready. I think that they're going to win this game pretty big. I think he needs, as the way the year started out and then the way it was going when he got hurt, and he needs to come out and have a really big game, and I think he does. And I mean, imagine the storyline of CJ Stroud as a rookie winning the division. Doesn't get much better than that.
He should be an MVP candidate at that point. That's just my opinion. I know that's a crazy hot take, but
No, I agree.
after what happened the last couple weeks and they went down and started to take a shit, if they win the division and it's because it's a direct product of him coming back and playing well over the last 2 weeks and they get 2 wins, maybe not the MVP, but he should totally have a case at being a candidate for MVP. Totally. Because that means you're a valuable player to your team.
I agree 1,000%. Next up, we have 2 8-7 teams, both in third place in their divisions, respectively, battling it out in Seattle at Lumen Field. The Pittsburgh Steelers come into town to face the 12th man in the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle, a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under 41 in this game. Minka Fitzpatrick out for the Steelers. Jamal Adams out for the Seahawks. Who do we got?
I'm going to do something dumb, and it goes against how I've played the playoff machine the last couple weeks. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm taking the Seahawks. Taking the Seahawks. I just got this really weird inkling that Pittsburgh's going to play. It's Tomlin's going for win number 9. That could be it right there, right? Or are they 7-7 or 7?
They are 8-7.
8-7.
Tomlin's going for win number 9. Mason Rudolph got his name cheered off the field last week. He's fighting for what could possibly end up being the starting job there. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to cover this game. I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game. I'm going to keep Tomlin's above 500 streak to stay alive. I'm going to take Seattle getting nut punched. And I'm going to take the under in this game. I think that Pittsburgh maybe by the grace of God found a little something last week that they can continue to push themselves forward with. I'm going to take Pittsburgh. And I have not been sold on Seattle all year. I'm still not sold on Seattle. I think this is a must-win game for Pittsburgh. Even if they don't make the playoffs, just for themselves, this is a game they've got to win. And going into Seattle and winning a game is a tall task no matter what. Give me Pittsburgh. Give me the under in this game.
Seattle to win, Pittsburgh to cover. I also want the under. Go ahead.
I'll take Pittsburgh to win in the under.
I don't think you guys are off with this prediction. I don't think you guys are off. I could totally see Pittsburgh winning this game. I just don't.
Their defense shows up like they did last week. They'll win this game easy.
It's dark Lumen Field.
Yeah.
And that's a tough place to play at the end of the day.
What about dark human field or light lumen field or darker lumen field?
No.
Balls.
Well, it's also Winter Classic weekend in Seattle. The Seattle Kraken and Vegas Golden Knights are playing in the Winter Classic at, I don't even know what they're calling it anymore. Wherever the Mariners play, which is next to Lumen Field, dark Lumen Field, excuse me. So it should be a buzzing weekend over there in the SeaTac region.
Zola, are you secretly Dark Lumen?
No.
Next up, we have yet another
Divisional game.
The LA Chargers are heading to Mile High Stadium to play the Rustless Denver Broncos. Obviously, Russell Wilson out as quarterback in Denver. Denver 7-8 with a 6% chance to make the playoffs. Chargers 5-10 with a 0% chance to make the playoffs. Denver, even without Russ, is a 3.5-point favorite going into this one with Easton Stick still at the helm. Over-under is 36.5. Uncle Sam, what do you think?
Taking the Chargers in the over. They should have won last week.
Zolo?
I am going with the Broncos. Jarrett Stidham is no slouch, whereas Easton Stick is. I think Jarrett Stidham can manage this team. No Cortland Sutton, which is going to make it interesting, but I think that the Broncos are going to run their way to this one. I think they're going to keep the ball on the ground a lot, and it's going to look similar how other backups have come in, and they've relied on their run game, and I think that's what happens in this one is they run the ball. No Keenan Allen for the Chargers. There's just a lot of bad juju over there in LA. So give me the Broncos to win. I'm going to take the Broncos to cover just because it's Mile High, and I like the under.
No Josh Palmer either for the Chargers.
Oof.
In my opinion, this is the hardest game of the week to pick because I think we can all agree if Russ was playing in this game,
Feel a lot
it would
better.
be a Denver sweep.
I would have took Denver if Russ was playing.
Yeah.
And I hope it backfires because of what they did to him, even though it was like the right thing to do. I hope this blows up in their face and they look like idiots for doing it. So I hope the Chargers win. I think it'd be cute, but I don't think they're going to.
I'm going to pull an Uncle Sam here. I'm going to take the Chargers to cover. I'm going to take Denver to win, and I'm going to take the over in this game. I got a feeling it's going to come down. This is going to be a field goal game. We got two shit bucket teams playing one another. I mean, listen, Denver without Russ and without Cortland Sutton, that's a shit bucket team. The Chargers with Easton Stick and fucking who's the Quentin? We get to see the Quentin Johnston show finally. Yeah. So I'm gonna go Chargers.
The other guy, not Quentin Johnson. What's his name?
Guyton.
Yeah, watch out for
Jalen Guyton.
Chargers to cover, Denver to win, and the over.
Trent Irwin.
Trenton Irwin plays for the Bengals.
I know that. I was being facetious.
And speaking of the Bengals, next up, we have what many people thought could be the AFC Championship preview at the beginning of the year. I remember when we were talking about this game preseason, we had it circled. New Year's Eve, 4:30 p.m., the Cincinnati Bengals head to Arrowhead to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City, a 6.5-point favorite. The over-under is 44 going into this one. Jamar Chase, it's looking like he is going to play, but he is still questionable. Isaiah Pacheco is still questionable with a concussion. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, questionable with the flu. Kadarius Toney out yet again with a hip injury. Uncle Sam, what do you think?
I'm going to take the Chiefs and the under.
At some point, the Chiefs got to get this thing right, and I think this is the game they get it right. There is a chink in the armor for Jake Browning next week, and this Chiefs defense will thrive on him for that. Jamar Chase sounds like he's going to play. I'm excited to see that. I still think that the Chiefs, they need to right the ship, and they're going to right the ship this weekend. Give me the Chiefs to win, Chiefs to cover. I'm going to go with the under.
I agree.
One other injury that I forgot to mention, L'Jarius Sneed was limited in practice yesterday and today as well. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm gonna go with the Bengals in this game. I think the Bengals are gonna cover it. I think the Bengals are gonna win it. I don't think Kansas City's defense is tough enough to stop the receivers for Cincinnati. At the end of the day, if Jamar Chase plays, they still have to figure out a way to cover him and T. Higgins. I don't think that they're able to do that all that well. With both running backs banged up, Mahomes is going to be forced to throw the ball to his dog shit receivers in this offense. I mean, if you don't have Pacheco and you don't have Edwards-Helaire,
he's an MVP. He's an MVP candidate. He's got to figure it out.
Who is?
Mahomes.
Mahomes is not an MVP candidate this year. He's not even close to it.
He's been an MVP guy. He's got to figure it out. Only an MVP. He's
not going to figure it out.
That.
He's not going to figure it out. Cincinnati is going to inch closer to a playoff spot with this win. Give me Cincinnati to cover, to win. And that 44, I'm going to take the under in this game, very surprisingly. Never would have thought I would have said that, but I'm taking the under in this game. I think Cincinnati wins this by a touchdown late.
All right.
The MVP candidate couldn't figure it out against the Raiders, so I don't think he's figuring it out against the Bengals either.
Yeah, Raiders defense is playing off the chain right now. Off the chain.
Next up, we have yet another
divisional game.
The Green Bay Packers are heading into Minnesota to take on Jaron Hall and the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is a 1-point favorite in this one. The over-under is 43.5. Injury reports, Christian Watson, doubtful going into this one. Devondre Campbell, doubtful going into this one.
Hasn't he been out all year?
Jair Alexander, out. Dontavian Wicks, questionable. Luke Musgrave, doubtful, still with his kidney injury. As far as the Vikings go, Byron Murphy Jr. is out. Jordan Addison, questionable coming into this one. Uncle Sam.
Taking the Packers in the over.
It's going to be pretty tough for. I think it's going to be pretty tough for Jaron Hall. And he had a shot with this offense a little more healthy, and now it's out Hawkinson. I think it's out Addison this week, right? Is Jordan Addison? What's his status? He's questionable.
Questionable.
And I don't. Ty Chandler ain't it. Packers really need this one. I'm gonna go with the Packers. Packers to win, Packers to cover, and I like the under.
I am going to take the Packers to win, the Packers to cover, and I like the under in this game as well. The Minnesota thing was cute while it lasted. It's over. It's over. They're exactly what we thought they were. It's just that team with Kirk Cousins, I think, is a wild card team again. Without them, it's not. Green Bay knows they're still in a wild card hunt. I think the Packers win this game, but I don't think it's. I think it's going to be the ugliest game of the week. This game is going to be uglier than the Denver Chargers game. This is going to be a toilet bowl. It's going to be a shit show. But I think Green Bay comes out on top late and covers and wins. And that was Sunday Night Football.
Wait, what about when's Ravens Dolphins?
Oh, Jesus. I don't know how I missed this. Sunday at 1 p.m., the game of the week. The game of the week. I have this in a different queue, and I missed it. The Miami Dolphins heading to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Ravens 12-3, first in the AFC North and the 1 seed. Miami 11-4, first in the AFC East and the 2 seed. Big game all around. Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite. The over-under is 47. Jalen Waddle is out for the Miami Dolphins with an ankle injury. Raheem Mostert questionable. Jalen Ramsey questionable. Javon Holland questionable. That Dolphins team is banged up at the moment. Baltimore, Kyle Hamilton questionable with an injury, as is Zay Flowers. Zolo, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not picking against the Ravens. I love what Miami did last week, but it still wasn't a crazy good showing. And when you take those teams from the South and you take them to the North, and they got to play some cold weather football, I think it's tough. I know Tua kind of struggles a little bit outdoors as well. Wouldn't shock me if the Ravens, same drill as the Lions, if the Ravens are a little hungover after last week's win. Wouldn't shock me at all. I just don't think this Miami team has enough, especially without Waddle. I think that's a huge loss because this isn't the Cowboys or this isn't the Commanders. They're not going to play. The Ravens defense is not going to play the Dolphins in man. They're going to be in zone. They're going to have 6 or 7 guys back, and they're going to let their D-line eat. They're going to let their linebackers eat. Queen and Roquan, I think, are both going to have monster games. And I like the Ravens to win. I like the Ravens to cover. And I like the over in this one.
What the fuck is he doing?
Uncle Sam, would you like to pick the game?
Sure. I'm taking the Ravens in the over. But I got an anytime touchdown with my boy Braxton Berrios.
Dog shit take.
It's coming from the guy who's about to take Miami in this game.
I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to win. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to cover, and I'm going to take the over in this game.
Somebody's off the Miami bandwagon.
Not off the Miami bandwagon.
No, because I don't think any of us will be shocked if Miami wins, right?
I wouldn't be shocked if Miami wins. I'd be surprised because
I'd be surprised if Braxton Berrios has over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, then why didn't you take Miami? Because if Braxton Berrios has fucking 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, not only will Miami win the game, but Pigs will fucking
maybe even a punt return for a touchdown.
Anyways, I'm going to take Baltimore in this. Miami's too banged up. I think when these two teams meet again in the AFC Championship game, things will go differently. But right now, with Waddle out, with Mostert banged up, with Tyreek still, even though he played, still not 100%, I don't think Miami has the ammo this week to win this game. unless Baltimore comes out slow because of their big win last week. But
now, if we do playoff machine, does that eliminate him? Does that take him out of the picture, or
No.
who?
so we have time for a quick playoff machine before we do the bowl games, right?
Just give me a second to get it up here.
Correct. He's going to need a second. He needs a minute to get it up. So you want to pick the bowl games before we do playoff machine?
Yeah. Which game do we want to do first? I say we start in New Orleans because it's a little less.
Agreed.
It's a little less important, even though
Agreed.
it's extremely important. You want to start it off, Uncle Sam? Washington and Texas. What do you think?
It's ready.
You're-
Taking Washington in the over.
You want the line, or you just want to?
Yeah, no. Let's do the line. Let's do the over unders. I think this is a good. That Washington Texas game is going to be fun to bet.
Yeah.
And if you like overs, like I think 3 of the best receivers in college football are on both of those teams. Texas has Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, who are both fucking awesome. These quarterbacks are both gunslingers and fun as fuck. Quinn Ewers and Michael Penix. Obviously, Washington has Roma Dunze, who's going to be a first-round pick. I mean, there's 3 first-round wide receivers in this game. And these quarterbacks are great when they're great. They make a lot of fucking mistakes, both of them. They both love to throw the ball to the other team, too. So I think this could
should have been the Heisman Trophy winner.
I think this game could be a lot of fun because when Quinn Ewers is rolling, they're really hard to beat. And obviously, Washington has been rolling, and no one's beaten them. And Michael Penix, I mean, his month was pretty sour, but he made a pretty big statement in that Oregon game. It's been a while since he played, but I'm excited to see this unfold because I truly believe it's going to be a bloodbath. I think there's going to be no defense at all, and I'm excited to watch everyone eat. Like I think this is going to be that game's going to be a big showcase for all of the draft eligible talent. And I like Texas. I just think that the Big 12 fares a lot better than the Pac-12 in these games. Pac-12 had a great year, but when Texas is healthy and when Texas is rolling, it's hard to stop. And Washington does not have any assets on defense that could slow down what Texas is doing. But I'm not saying that Texas is going to do the same. I love Texas. I love the Longhorns' defensive line, but that's about it defensively that they bring to the table. And Michael Penix will feast on that secondary, the Texas secondary. I still like Texas to win. I love the over. And I like the Longhorns to cover.
Texas is a 4-point favorite. The over/under is 63.5.
Yeah, I think they're going to have no problem hitting that number. I think both these teams could. This has the makings of like a 35-30 type game easily.
Uncle Sam?
I took Washington in the over.
Okay, I'm going to take the over here. All right. In my opinion, okay, one of these playoff games is always down to the wire, a field goal game, a late touchdown, and the other one is a fucking blowout. I don't think that either of these two teams are going to blow each other out. All right. I'm going to take Washington in this game to cover. I'm going to take Texas to win, and I'm going to take the over on that 63.5. I think this game is going to be the close game. It's going to be nothing but offense. I think Michael Penix is going to show you exactly why he's should have been the Heisman candidate. I'll defend Uncle Sam on that one. But I think Texas ultimately is going to have luck on their side, and they're going to win this game late with a field goal. So give me Washington to cover, give me Texas to win, and I'm going to take the over.
Bruce?
I don't give a shit. Texas, sure.
Great,
Should we head
great
to
call.
Pasadena for the game of the decade?
5 p.m. New Year's Day. It's the Rose Bowl. Alabama, Michigan, a 1.5-point favorite. The over/under 45. Uncle Sam.
Taking Alabama in the over.
In my opinion, this game is going to go one of two ways, and it's going to go one of two ways quick. All right, Alabama is going to come out. They're going to pound Michigan in submission early, and they're going to run away with this game. I hope that is not the case. If it's not the case, Michigan comes out, methodically runs the ball, and is able to get the upper hand on Alabama. I think that they win the game if they establish a dominant run game from go. I'm going to take Michigan to win this game. I'm going to take the under. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of offense. I think both these teams are coming in with the same game plan. We're going to run it at each other until we can't run anymore. Ultimately, I think Michigan wins this game by a touchdown late. Give me Michigan and give me the under.
My heart really wants to pick Alabama because just history tells us that Jim Harbaugh doesn't have his team prepared for this game, prepared for any bowl game. And my heart really just says that you got to side with the coach whose team, I mean, he's choked on this stage. Saban's choked on this stage a couple times before, but he's also won on this stage more than anyone's won on this stage before. So my heart really wants to pick Alabama. The numbers say the exact opposite. This line has been hovering between Michigan -1.5 or -2.5 since the day the game was announced. And 70% of the money is on Alabama. And you know what that line has done? It has done nothing. It hasn't moved at all because Vegas knows, and anyone who's watched both of these teams knows, that Alabama doesn't belong. They weren't even the best team in their own conference, okay? They almost choked against a pretty bad UCF team. Their Heisman quarterback got benched after that. They're not even in here without multiple broken bullshit plays in the Iron Bowl. Credit to them on beating Georgia. I think Georgia should have still got in over Alabama, but that's a big win. But Georgia just wasn't prepared. And Alabama always has good juju for that game in Atlanta, and I think that's why they won.
Well, I think that the key to this game is real simple. Michigan's offensive line against Alabama's defensive line, and I think the advantage goes to Alabama. I don't think Michigan's offensive line is that good right now. They lost a lot of guys last year. They put all these guys into the pros. So I think they're not going to be able to run the ball like we think they're going to try to do. I just don't think they're going to be successful at it.
So Alabama's edge rushers are outstanding. They're in the middle. It's one of the worst Saban teams analytically. By the way, this is the worst Saban team that's ever won an SEC championship, analytically speaking. It's statistically on both offensive ranking RPI, defensive ranking RPI, and special teams RPI. This is the worst team that he's ever gotten this far, which goes to show it was fluky. This would have all been over, and Florida State would have been in if if Alabama or Auburn just learned how to cover someone in the Iron Bowl on that last play. And I agree with you. Alabama's D-line is great, but it's on the edge, and I think the opposite's going to happen. I think Michigan's game plan is we're going to pound the ball down your throat, and their offensive line is still one of the top in the country. They did lose a lot of guys, but they now don't lose guys. They reload. They reload on their offensive line, and I think they're going to have an outstanding showing. And I agree with you, Sam. It's going to happen early, whatever's going to happen. Michigan's going to come out early and dominate the tempo. That's what I think is going to happen.
When this is J.J. McCarthy, turns into fucking Superman overnight.
I couldn't disagree more. I don't think J.J. McCarthy's
have a big game. I don't have the game of his life.
I think he's got to protect the football. And on the counter to that, the recipe for beating Milroe, who's been a lot of fun to watch over the last 2 months, he rightfully should have been a Heisman candidate. But the recipe to beat him is you just leave him in the pocket. He's going to eventually throw the ball away because that's what he does. And number two, if Michigan just rushes 4 and they get to him, he's got horrible ball security. It's the reason he got benched. He loves to let go of the ball. And Michigan pickpockets guys more than anybody. If Michigan wins the turnover battle, there's no way they're losing this. If Michigan controls the line of scrimmage like I think they will, there's no way they're losing this. If Michigan is the team that they have been all year, and in the last month or in their last 3 games, they played 3 of the top defenses in college football, 3 top 5 defenses, and they had no issue with them. If Michigan is that team, not only do they win this, I think they look pretty sound, and I don't think the game's going to be close if Michigan is the team that they are. Again, my heart says they're not going to be that team, that they're not going to be prepared, that they're going to overthink it, and that they're going to struggle. But this is the easiest quarterback out of all of their 3 college football playoff appearances. This is the easiest quarterback that they're ever going to face. This is the most lackluster Alabama offense that has ever gone to the college football playoff and that Saban's ever brought this far. And for that reason, trust me, I want to pick Alabama. It just makes sense to do it. It just makes sense to pick Saban. It just makes sense to pick against Harbaugh, but I can't go against the numbers. I can't go against what Michigan has done, and I can't go against Vegas. That line hasn't moved for a reason, and Vegas is banking on Jim Harbaugh's team being prepared. I have a hard time believing after the last 2 college football playoff appearances that they're not going to be prepared for this one. They're experienced, they're aged, they're about as healthy as they're going to get right now, and I'm picking Michigan. I'm picking Michigan to win,
If
Michigan
this
to
was
cover.
last year's team, I would pick Michigan to win.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Michigan to win, Michigan to cover, and I am also going with the under because I think that Michigan is going to run the shit out of the ball and say, stop us.
Amen. So then 2 of us have a Michigan-Texas championship, and one of us has an Alabama-Washington championship.
That's right.
Uncle Sam, if the game was today and it was Alabama-Washington, who are you taking?
Washington.
You are.
Michael Penix is best player in the country.
Oof.
What?
Are we ready for playoff
I
machine?
think he's the best player in the country. I watched him.
Are we ready for playoff machine?
Guy's fucking money, dude.
Ready for playoff machine.
Makes all the
Okay.
throws, baby.
I have the playoff machine up here as well, so we need to go semi-slow with the pick so I can stay up to par here. Lions at Dallas.
Lions.
I have
I got
Dallas.
the Lions.
I think you guys both have the Lions. I have Dallas.
We both took the Lions. Ooh, doesn't that
Uh-oh.
look pretty?
You see
Detroit
it?
is the 1 seed.
Yeah, I think it changes with the Niner and
Okay.
Eagle.
We all took Baltimore, correct?
By the way,
Yeah.
we had Cleveland in that first game.
They're all
First
It,
game.
it automatically does it because the game already happened. You can't
Oh,
change
all right.
it. You can't change it.
Okay.
Baltimore. We all took Baltimore, right?
Yes. We all took Buffalo.
We all
Uncle-
didn't take Buffalo.
No, I
Two of
took
us did.
Oh, you took New England.
I
You
took New England.
And
Me
you
and you took.
but
took
you and I
Buffalo.
took Chicago, right?
Right.
Chicago,
dog
Vegas.
shit take.
I took
I
the
took
Raiders.
the Raiders.
You guys both took the Raiders.
I took Jacksonville.
Houston.
I took Jacksonville.
I think we all took Houston here.
Yep.
We did.
We all took the Rams. We all took the Eagles.
Tampa.
With Tampa, yep. San Francisco. I think
Wait,
they
we
both
took
picked-
Tampa.
I took Pittsburgh.
I think you guys both picked Pittsburgh, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they picked Pitt.
Yeah, we did both. Uncle Sam and I picked Tampa.
Okay.
Kansas City. Oh wait, hold on. You and I picked the Chiefs, right, Sam? And Uncle Sam. It doesn't matter.
Oh,
3 of it. Yeah, we all picked
I
the
picked
Chiefs,
Cincinnati.
No, me and you took the Chiefs.
and you and I took the Chiefs. The Broncos I took. I don't know about you two.
I took the Chargers.
You know I have.
I took the Chargers.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's Chargers there.
And we took Green Bay.
Correct.
Chargers and Packers. Just
So
cut
the
to the
Pitt-
last week. Cut to the last,
Last
week.
week.
All right, Seattle, Arizona.
Seattle.
Shout out to Dave Smith. Shout out to the Bills.
I'll
Shout out
take
to House.
Seattle.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I'm gonna take Pittsburgh in this game.
I'm going to take Baltimore.
Tampa.
I don't think
Carolina.
Baltimore have anything to play off by that.
Tampa.
Tampa.
Well, no, but hold on. Going back real quick. If Pittsburgh beats Baltimore,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh hops into the 7 seed.
Right.
And Baltimore, you're right, because Miami will be 2 games back. Realistically, it doesn't have anything to play for. So, will Baltimore play anybody?
Mason
I don't
Rudolph.
know.
Mason Rudolph isn't walking into Baltimore and winning that game. That's just my opinion. They'll have things to play for, like Madubuike's got that sack streak, right? Or did that end last week?
That ended.
Oh, that ended.
Spot on
Listen,
Twitter.
there's still things to play for Baltimore.
This is the.
You know what? I'm going to make this interesting, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh.
Okay, fair. It doesn't matter, so
Doesn't. Well,
Well, it does matter.
Did you guys?
Seeding.
it matters for the 7. It matters for who gets in the wild card.
Right.
So did you guys both?
All right. Who's next?
Baltimore.
What's the next game?
Tampa
Hold on.
at Carolina.
No, I think they both took
Tampa.
Pittsburgh. You guys both took Pittsburgh, right? And I took
Yeah.
Baltimore. Tampa, Bruce,
Cleveland at Cincinnati.
Browns.
Cleveland.
Minnesota at Detroit.
Lions.
Detroit.
Chicago at Green Bay.
I'm going with the Bears for that one.
I am
I'm
too.
going
I'm
with
going to
that.
go with the Bears.
Wow, you guys are crazy. Houston at Indianapolis.
Houston.
Right.
Stroud is back. He'll finish off
Yeah,
with a win.
yeah, it's hard to pick against Stroud in that one. Stroud boys stand up.
Kansas
I'll take
City
Houston.
at L.A.
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Denver at Las Vegas.
Raiders.
Raiders, baby.
Buffalo at Miami.
Wow.
Miami.
You two go first.
Miami.
I would take Miami in this.
New York Jets at New England.
Who?
The New York Jets at New England.
At New England?
The
I pick New England.
Patriots.
Patriots.
Yes, Saints for this one here.
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Saints, Falcons.
Saints.
Who'd you say so?
Saints. Eagles.
He took Atlanta. Philadelphia at New York Giants.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Rams at Frisco.
San Francisco.
Rams.
San Francisco.
Rams.
It would be fun to just.
I'm taking
San
the Rams.
Francisco's playing for the 1 seed, dude.
The
Come
Rams
on.
have something to play for here.
No, they don't. No, they don't. They're the 6th seed regardless if
Okay,
they win or
whatever.
lose.
Jacksonville at Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Wow, give me the Titans right now.
Dallas
gonna
at
take
Washington.
Dallas.
Dallas.
There you have it.
Okay, can you do me a favor? Go back and put LA in at that win. There you go, baby.
So that yeah,
Tell you?
I mean that's the
What
gist.
did I tell you?
That's the gist. Is if the
Is
Lions
Stafford
win the
good
next
enough to
two,
go in there and beat them.
is if the Lions win the next two. That's the gist. If you win the next two, and then you just need them to lose. You need the Niners to lose once, and it would be Stafford and the Rams. That's
Right.
that's the one. That's the one
That's
that you
the
circle.
one. And then we get the 1 seed. You get the bye. Motherfucker, you get home field throughout the playoffs.
To me,
Suck a cock.
it's clearly a tall order because I'm the only one that has the Lions losing this week. I think the Lions are losing this week. But
Not
yeah,
losing.
if you win these two, at a minimum, you get the 2 seed, and that's fucking sexy as it is. Because if you win the first home game, you get a second one after that. So it's the same deal, in my opinion. It's just a matter
Sexy
of
is asshole punching everybody that comes into Ford Field. That's sexy. You get that 1
couldn't
seed,
agree
you
more.
have that opportunity.
I could not agree more. It's sexy to
They
watch
have an
everyone get their
opportunity
assholes
to go
punched.
to a fucking Super Bowl with this team, believe it or not, who I don't think is Super Bowl caliber, but they have an opportunity to do it because the schedule is that easy for them to do it. They have to win out.
Lions Browns Super Bowl.
We made a mistake with Pittsburgh winning that Baltimore game. this week.
I agree.
We made a mistake with that. I'm
it-
changing my pick to Baltimore. Bruce,
Oh,
do
go
it
ahead.
accordingly.
And on top of
Are you
that, I
happy
don't think
now?
Pittsburgh wins this weekend. I think we're getting too fucking rock hard over one Mason Rudolph win at the moment.
Yeah, but it's against Seattle. I don't think it's as much of a Pittsburgh win as it is a Seattle choke job.
Okay.
But the only thing that game affects the Pittsburgh Seattle game is the Seattle LA seeding. Because if Pittsburgh does not win out, who do you guys have in your 7th seed over there?
Hold real quick. Leon wants to know what Uncle Sam would give up to get Trump back in office.
What?
Leon, President Baker is asking, what would Uncle Sam give up to get Trump back in office? What would you sacrifice?
Don't get me political right now, Leon. I'm busy thinking about football.
He's working, Leon. He's fucking working.
Okay, back to the playoff machine real quick. Do you guys currently have the Raiders in your 7th seed?
Yes.
Yes.
So realistically, that Denver Raiders game is going to decide if this is all based on Jacksonville losing, to the Titans. But if Jacksonville does lose to the Titans, then Denver is their only hope of a playoff shot. But we picked the Titans.
We're
riding
wrong.
with this.
We're of course wrong about some stuff. I mean, I just like
What do you mean
I
wrong? What do you mean wrong?
so. I mean, we picked the Titans. Yeah, Jacksonville looks like dog shit, and the Titans don't look like dog shit. The Titans look like they could beat Jacksonville right
on
now.
a fucking slump.
And then conversely, the counter to that is I don't know why we picked Pittsburgh. We picked Pittsburgh twice, which I don't think is going to fucking happen. So
That
you know,
I'm revoking my Pittsburgh pick this week. I'm taking Baltimore
Okay.
on week 18. So
Okay.
listen. The final playoff machine is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. We have one more playoff machine next week. It's going to be outstanding. We're going to have a nice time. We're going to enjoy it. We should probably pop a bottle open when we do it, because I will miss the playoff machine, because then it's playoffs after that.
Playoffs, baby.
All right.
And that Buffalo-Miami game will decide the division. So that's going to be even spicier. Do we have anything else?
No. What's your New Year's plan? What are you going to do over there? What do you guys anything on the docket or
something for dinner, and then shots at Nacho Mama's afterwards. That's about it. Just a nice trip to Nacho Mama's.
By the way, I had sent a little clip to the tip balls about the guy buying the two Fiji waters at the Fountain Blue.
Yeah, I've retired.
$65 for 2 waters.
Yes, that's how it goes. I've retired the Fountain Blue. I've retired the city of Miami.
Okay.
I'm a West Coast of Florida. It's always been where my heart lies, but you know.
That's why I had sent that to there, because that's where he used to go all the time.
I think we're
hanging out with that little jackass Floyd Mayweather.
I think we're all too old for Miami, unless we're going out to dinner, and even still, I'm probably
Bruce
still not going to Miami. But
I'd shoot across for dinner.
Sam was supposed to take me for my 21st.
Oh, he was supposed to take you?
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce said you were supposed to take him for his 21st birthday. You never did.
Bruce is lucky he's still employed.
That is true. That could change very rapidly.
You want to know something? Bruce's employment status is like the stock market.
Yes.
There are so many ups and downs every day that you just can't keep track of it anymore.
Yet here I am. Every week.
Uncle Sam, what are your big plans for New Year's?
I'll be at home.
Solo?
Will you be asleep at midnight?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I won't see fucking midnight.
I was last year. I fell asleep watching the Ohio State-Georgia game,
to
so I was asleep at midnight last year.
All I know is these assholes will be shooting fireworks off half the nights, and my gatitos will be going crazy.
And we ride or die with the gatitos. I have no plans. I haven't been invited anywhere. I don't know who's in town.
Listen, you're not missing anything.
I know. It's the most overrated night of the year. I'll cook a steak dinner. We got some Wagyus from Fairway. We got a A5 Japanese filet mignon. And then I don't eat a lot of filet. I don't really do that. I never buy fillets, but she got it for me for Christmas, so I'm really excited about it. And then I'm going to go buy another one, probably an A5 New York strip, I think. And then we're gonna do those, maybe some mashed potatoes, and I'll probably be asleep, and then I'll just sit around on fucking Monday saying, "Is it 5 yet? Is it 5 p.m.? Is it 5 p.m. yet?" Oh, and then we got the fantasy finals, so I'll be monitoring Red Zone. It should be wrapped up by Sunday evening, if my math is correct. It is. There's no Monday games, and I don't know what is it? Minnesota and Green Bay. I think we both have guys in that game.
I no longer do, because it looks like Wicks and Watson are both going to be out.
I got Danielle Hunter.
So you have Danielle Hunter, and I obviously have Mahomes going at 4:30.
Yeah.
So that's going to be that's going to be the game where I end up bashing the fucking TV in.
My season, for me, it's Bills Patriots. It's when the Patriots defense holds Josh Allen to nothing.
Yeah.
And ever since Elizabeth traded me Diggs, he's been like the worst receiver in football. He's literally done nothing. So I'm hoping. No, Ridley's popped off. Ridley had 2 touchdowns last week.
Really?
Yeah, I put him in at the last second.
You have 2 touchdowns the whole time I fucking had
That's true.
Him. Anyway.
That's true.
Well,
my season comes down to Josh Allen. If I get a good game out of Josh Allen and Diggs, you're probably not beating me. But it hasn't happened. It literally hasn't happened one time. So, or Josh Allen has kind of held up his end of the bargain, but Diggs has not. And I don't see it happening this week.
The game I am most excited for is San Francisco at Washington. And I just hope that the 31st ranked run defense just decides to continue that streak on Sunday, and Christian McCaffrey
What
gives me
seals
my
his MVP voting in that game?
yes.
He puts 200 yards on Washington.
I
Dark-
hope so.
Dark Lumen, I was at the Pistons game the other night when they broke the record, the single season record against the Nets. The vibe was incredible at Little Caesars Arena. They almost won. Cade dropped 40. They wanted it bad as hell. They wanted it again last night. And I think they've shown a lot of improvement over the last 2 weeks. I think Cade Cunningham is a superstar. He's doing some really fucking insane shit right now. It's just a shame that they haven't really developed any other than Duran, the other young talent, Osar Thompson.
They need veterans.
They need veterans that they don't have. It's not going to come.
GM, that old dude, what's his name?
Troy Weaver.
Yeah, he needs to fucking go, dude.
Yeah, his head should already have been on a
He's
platter.
garbage. He needs to get the fuck out.
I'm embarrassed for Tom Gores that he hasn't fired. Do you guys remember I said shout out to the Pistons 2 months ago? They were 2-1. They haven't won a game since then. That was
October
when they were
28th,
2-1.
baby.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the last time. I'm seeing the potential right now in the Pistons, and certainly in Cade Cunningham, and they've looked a lot better with Duran back. They're going to win games eventually. I think they're going to and their schedule has also been atrocious. They've played all of the hard teams. They played the Bucks twice.
Well, they played some shitty teams that they should have beaten. They lost.
Yeah, they've lost to teams that they should have beat too.
They're you know what? I'm going to say this. The owner, Gore, whatever his fucking name is.
We don't acknowledge him. He's Matt Patricia in this town right now.
He's. I don't think it's a matter of him not wanting to put the money out, but once again, we're in a predicament where your ownership doesn't get it on getting the right people to run this team. That is an issue, and it's happened for the Lions for 30 fucking years, and they just hire the wrong person time after time, and I think the same thing happened here. Troy Weaver should have been fired 2 years ago. How he's still here is beyond me.
So that's exactly it. Is you don't have an owner that cares. I love the Monty Williams hire.
I don't think that he doesn't care. I just think, you know what?
No, I don't think he fucking cares.
His fucking hands out of it for the most part.
That's not
That's
caring.
what ownership should do.
That's not caring, in my opinion.
No,
the
it is
way things have gone, because he cared when he brought in Monty Williams, and people are going to argue it's a bad hire. He's not a good coach. I disagree. I think this talent.
You can't blame him.
I don't blame Monty Williams. I think they're so talent depleted outside of Duran and Cunningham, and they've had some really fucking shitty lottery luck. And then they've also had some misses in the draft. Like they should have taken Tyrese Halliburton a couple years ago over Killian Hayes. We knew that they should have did that. Isaiah Stewart's outstanding. He needs to come off the bench. He's not a starter in today's NBA. Osar Thompson, same drill. Great player. He was probably your best get at 5. But they missed. They missed on Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey can't shoot. And Monty Williams' system revolves around shooters.
Listen, today's NBA is shooting the basketball. If you can't shoot the 3, you don't win.
And that's Monty Williams' system.
Simple.
That's Monty Williams' system is you need shooters. You need to space it with shooters. He's got no shooters.
Right.
Cade has evolved during this losing streak. A really underrated storyline is Cade Cunningham has evolved as a shooter. He's now a 40% shooter from 3. He's been playing fucking awesome the last couple weeks.
Yeah, but he turns the ball over a lot.
But he stopped doing it over the last couple weeks.
Well,
he's had some really good fucking basketball games the last couple weeks where he hasn't.
Listen, he needs to be a leader. Okay? He's the face of the fucking franchise. He needs to be a leader, and you got to get these other guys to play with you. Listen, Michael Jordan didn't come into the Bulls and have the fucking all-star team that won all those championships.
It took like 6 or 7 years.
He had fucking garbage there, dude.
He was drafted in 82, 83, and it took him 6 years just to beat the Pistons. 84.
Right.
It took him 6 years to beat the Pistons. 7 years to beat the Pistons.
I mean, his cast. Everybody forgets the Bulls were absolute dog shit from the 70s all the way into the early 80s. They were dog shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They were fucking utter dog shit. They drafted him. They turned it around in 2 years. I mean, come on, man.
Uncle Sam hit the nail on the head. They need good veterans, not random veterans that like fucking Alec Burks and
that can shoot the fucking basketball.
And that's next. You need a 2 guard, a 3 and a 4, a power forward and a small forward that can shoot.
Fucking defense, dude. They're awful on the defensive side. I'm sorry. They're most pathetic defensive team I've ever seen here in Detroit. Period.
He's got a lot to bring to the table over there right now for someone who says the NBA fucking sucks.
What?
You're doing
NBA's
great.
trash. Dude.
You're doing great right
I
now.
don't even watch fucking NBA, dude. Did you see the little thing come out? The viewership for Christmas Day? Did anybody see that?
Yeah, football took
Florida boy. Did you
football
ever
took
see
a
that?
dump on the NBA.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, really? Did you see the
Yep.
little thing on the viewership of all the games that were on Christmas Day?
Of the football games on Christmas Day?
Everything up and down
The
the board.
football and the basketball.
I know that football trouts basketball.
Basketball got 4.7 million, and the NFL had 23.7 million. That answers your question. How great basketball is in the United
And that's
States.
5 games versus 2 games. Well, it's also you can't compare an NFL game, and the best NFL game of the season was Sunday night. The most important game of the season was Sunday night.
You know what? I get it, but I didn't expect the disparity to be that huge.
If the NFL is going to show up on
20
Christmas,
million?
if
Come
the
on,
if the
dude.
NFL is going to show up on Christmas like they did, I know the NBA's Christmas is the NBA's thing,
Yes.
and they're not going to have NFL games on Christmas over the next 2 years because they're not going to put games in the middle of the week. It only happened because it was a Monday night. But if the NFL is going to show up on Christmas, the NBA needs to kindly take the night off or make sure they don't align their games with whatever game's on during Christmas. Because I don't even know who played on Christmas, and I'm sure the 10 or
I'm sure it was
or-
Lakers, no?
yeah, I'm
Wasn't
sure
it LeBron James.
I'm sure the 10 best teams played on Christmas. I have no fucking idea who played.
LeBron James and the
Dark Lumen had a great comment.
fucking-
The NBA games aren't important right now. The NBA season for me, and honestly, the way football has gone this year, it's the same with hockey season. It doesn't start until January. That's when it starts. And
Oh, by the way, hockey was on that night too.
was it?
Yeah,
Oh no,
they
no.
had-
I think hockey was on break. Hockey was on break.
Was
The,
it?
the young kids were on.
Who was on though?
The world
Somebody beside the NBA and the NFL.
the World
was on.
Junior Classic is on, which is a great. It's the
There
best
was an
hockey in the
oldie
world.
one or something too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll talk more
Anyhow.
NBA eventually, Lumen. It's just not going to happen during football season. We have a team that clinched their division around here. We have another team playing in the college football playoff. There's no better time to be a fan of football in the state of Michigan than right now. So we're going to stick with football for a little bit, and we'll tip some NBA balls much further down the road. But yes, we acknowledge the Pistons suck, but it is what it is.
Amen. Do we have anything else to add before we end out a year? A whole year.
Thank God it's over.
A
It
tipped
wasn't
year.
that bad. It wasn't all that bad. Anything? Nothing?
No, I'm all good.
Uncle Sam? Anything to
Sam,
add?
we gotta
We're
go.
ending a year.
What?
We're ending the year. You don't have nothing to say?
We'll be back next year, though,
Why?
also known as Wednesday.
I know, but
What do you want me to say? We ended out the year. Thank God it's over. I am so tired of this.
tired of what?
All of this. I don't like football anymore. I don't like anybody anymore. I don't even know why I'm on here. Why don't you do me a favor and fire me before you fire Bruce?
No, unfortunately, you will definitely outlast Bruce.
Oh,
and
Jesus
with that
Christ.
being
That means
said,
I'm gonna have to die.
I'll be honest. There's people. There's people. No matter how we feel about you and your takes, there's people like you're what sets us apart. You're what makes this thing great. If it was just the three of us assholes talking, people would change
Listen,
the
nobody's
channel.
watching us now. The only people watching us are your friends. That's it.
We have two.
Nobody else watches us.
What do you mean no one else?
Bruce already
watches us?
told me nobody watches us. They
Bruce
don't
doesn't
like
know
our
shit
show.
about fuck,
They
Marty.
say we're on too long. We're too long-winded. We give them too many stats. We just need to fucking be ourselves. I thought we were better on the couch, dude. When
I
Bruce
wasn't on
used
the
to play
couch.
with his wiener, and Sam would scratch his nut bag.
I wasn't on the couch. I would love to be invited on the casting couch.
Maybe we need to go back to the couch.
anyways, I hope everybody has a very happy new year. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Tip Balls Podcast. Make sure to follow our socials, Instagram and Twitter at Tipballs, TikTok at Tipballs Podcast. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Music, check us out on YouTube. And remember to ring the bell and subscribe so you get notified when we go live. Usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 4:30 and 5. But we will not be here next Monday because everybody should be watching Michigan at that point. So you guys will hear from us next Wednesday in 2024. Thank you so much for listening. Have a very happy New Year.